All right, once again, if you don't have, here is the definition of a parallelogram, as well as all of its properties. The opposite sides are congruent. The diagonals bisect each other or cut each other into two equal parts. The opposite angles are congruent, so angles across the figure from one another are the same. And consecutive angles, angles next to one another as you go around the figure, are supplementary or add to equal 180. So for example, A and B are next to each other, they would add to equal 180 degrees. These are the properties of a parallelogram. Once again, if you do not have this in your notes, get it in your notes. All right, let's apply those properties. So here we have a problem. It says the figure shows a swing blowing to one side by a breeze. The seat of the swing is parallel to the top bar. The chains of the swing are parallel. Okay, so basically we ended up with a parallelogram. Whoops. All right, and with that parallelogram we have some questions. If AB is 6, so the line from A to B is 6, what's the measure of DC? Well, our properties of parallelograms, these are opposite sides. They're across the parallelogram from each other. Our properties tell us opposite sides are congruent. So if AB is 6, DC would also be 6. Next, if the measure of angle BCD is 82, again, our angle would be located where our middle letter is in the name. So BCD, right here at C, is 82. What's the measure of angle ADC? Where is ADC? Well, it should be located at D. So this angle right here, I'm going to call it X for now. If this is 82, what's this one? Well, we know opposite angles are congruent, but these are not opposite angles. They're right next to each other, which means they're consecutive. What do we know about consecutive angles in a parallelogram? We know they're supplementary. So I know that the measure of angle ADC plus 82 should equal 180. And I can solve to find the measure of angle ADC by subtracting 82 from both sides. When I do that, I get that the measure of angle ADC is 98 degrees. Question 3, if angle BDC BCD, the same angle we were looking at previously, BCD, if it's 82, like in our last question, what's the measure of BAD? So notice BAD, the middle letters A, is the angle located at A. Okay, so this angle right here, what's its measure? Well, notice it's opposite angle C, and opposite angles in a parallelogram are always congruent. So if angle at C is 82, that angle at A is also 82. And finally, if BE is 4, what's the measure of DE? Well, where are BE and DE? Here's BE, the line from B to E is 4. We want to know how long is DE from D to E. Well, in a parallelogram, diagonals bisect each other or cut each other in half. So this diagonal from B to D we know is cut in half right here. So if this half is 4, the other half would also have to be 4.